So I
Yeah.
guess Freaky Ty was leaving the party and then he gets shot in the head.
Part 1. The comment sections are on fire arguing over who 50 Cent really targeted in that Diddy documentary series. Then Joe Rogan shifted the whole conversation by pointing out that some well-known names weren't mentioned at all, and people don't see that as random. When a federal case dominates the news, the real signals aren't just about who gets called out. It's about who suddenly disappears, who stops being seen, who creates distance, who starts acting like the spotlight is getting a little too close. And one name keeps popping up more than expected, Ellen DeGeneres. As the Diddy discussion started gaining momentum again, Ellen more or less faded from public view. She quietly moved, reappeared in England, and has kept a low profile ever since. Officially, it was explained as a political decision, unhappiness with the post-2024 election climate and a desire for peace and privacy. That's the polished explanation. Online, though, people are questioning the timing and reading it differently. Less about politics, more about pressure. Because whenever a major story resurfaces, nothing from the past stays hidden. Old clips resurface, old connections get re-examined, and silent exits suddenly feel loaded, like they're saying more than anyone admits.
And we put the soul back in hip-hop. So all y'all cats that ain't got no soul, y'all better step to the left, straight up, because it's coming.
Here's where Diddy gets drawn deeper into the conversation. Ellen and Diddy weren't just casual industry acquaintances. They appeared genuinely close. He showed up on her show often. They joked easily, and they leaned into the party image like it was all light-hearted fun. At the time, it played as harmless TV banter. But viewed through today's lens, those same clips hit differently. Very differently. Once the tone of the conversation shifts, familiar footage can start feeling like a timestamp, not evidence, but something people can't shake. And it doesn't stop there. With so much talk swirling about Diddy's after-hours world, plus non-stop online rumors about private recordings, the internet has started reanalyzing the body language and energy of anyone who orbited his circle. And when social media grabs onto a storyline, it doesn't tiptoe, it goes full search mode. For years, there have been online whispers that Ellen's off-camera life didn't fully align with her polished daytime persona. People resurface old relationships, revisit breakups, and question whether things really unfolded as randomly as they were presented. Then there's the Twitch discussion. Steven Twitch Boss wasn't just a show's DJ. He was treated like family. His passing deeply affected a lot of people. And even though the official explanation has been public for years, speculation never fully disappeared. It resurfaces whenever larger stories dominate the news. Not facts, just theories that reignite with every new headline. That's the recurring pattern. Once people think there's smoke, they start checking every corner for a spark. Put it all together, Ellen stepping out of the spotlight, relocating, changing her appearance, staying quiet, while the Diddy headlines continue to evolve and online voices keep suggesting more names could surface. So the question becomes straightforward. If the spotlight swings again, does Ellen remain out of the frame, or does her name re-enter the conversation? That leads to the next figure people keep mentioning, Ashton Kutcher. Because when timelines get re-examined, it's not just about actions, it's about proximity. Where you were, who you were around, and how comfortable you seemed in certain rooms. Old clips have been circulating again, and many viewers say Ashton looks completely at ease in those high-profile party settings, smiling, dancing, blending right in. Not like someone who wandered through by accident, but like someone enjoying himself. And things got tense when he was later asked about those parties publicly. Instead of a clear, confident response, people noticed the hesitation, the nervous laughs, the pauses, the stumbled wording. The kind of answer that makes the audience feel like there's more left unsaid than explained.
When we was younger in school, you know what I'm saying? Just me, Spig Nice, Lou, Freaky Ty. We used to meet up before school and just, go to school together. We used to be the Stay Fresh crew. After a while, we just got older and we seen the movie Lost Boys. Bang! You know what I'm saying? We felt that we was dumb cats in our area. Like, they was running wild like that. So that's where it came from.
The pressure intensified when people resurfaced the fact that Ashton and Mila had written letters in support of Danny Masterson after his conviction. That moment sparked heavy backlash and eventually led Ashton to step away from the anti-trafficking organization he helped launch. For many watching, It wasn't just another celebrity controversy. It became a question of judgment. Once the public decides a social circle is compromised, anyone seen defending someone from that circle tends to get pulled into the same storm. Now layer that with online talk about rumored footage, names being casually dropped, and Ashton's presence at those high-profile party scenes, and the narrative starts to feel uneasy. Ashton has said he was simply nearby, not involved. But critics keep pressing a tougher question. Just how connected was he to Diddy's chaotic inner world? And once that question takes hold, it doesn't end with one person. The internet doesn't chase individuals. It traces networks. That's how the focus shifts to Russell Brand. At first, many dismissed the talk as background noise. Then older clips began circulating again. Brand and Diddy on a private jet, laughing, looking comfortable. Even the energy in those moments raised eyebrows. In one resurfaced clip, Brand spoke about feeling controlled, like he didn't really have the freedom to push back and had to go along with what was happening. And that only added another layer of discomfort to a story that keeps expanding instead of fading.
Publicized because he wasn't trying to be public about it. But almost every kid you see in this neighborhood was helped by him.
With all the conversation swirling around Diddy's alleged influence and behind-the-scenes control, people have started drawing lines between moments that once seemed unrelated. The question keeps coming up, how far into that world did Russell Brand actually go? Was he just along for the experience? Or did he see things most outsiders never would? That's why timelines matter now, and why resurfaced clips are forcing people to reconsider what they thought they understood. Then another familiar name keeps reappearing in the discussion, Paris Hilton. And it turns out she wasn't just a distant figure on the edges of that scene. 4 years, she was right in the middle of some of the biggest, most exclusive events. She appeared repeatedly around Diddy at major gatherings, the all-white parties, the lavish birthday celebrations, the nights that dominated headlines. Now, old posts and throwback videos are circulating again, being watched through a completely different lens. Back then, Paris openly spoke positively about the atmosphere and the scene itself. But in today's context, those same moments don't land the same way. What once looked like carefree celebrity nightlife is now being re-examined as part of a much larger story people believe they're only beginning to understand.
Guys get arrested for bank robbery?
Yeah, well, Big Nice got arrested for bank robberies. Lou ain't get arrested for it. He wasn't involved in that.
He got 37 years.
Yeah. He should be coming home.
37 years. And how old was he at the time? Was like about 27 or so?
Yep. 27, 28.
She openly posted about having an incredible time, praised his talent, talked about the wild energy, even used the phrase heart of gold. Now those words are being dragged back into the spotlight hard. One comment reads like, "Hold up, she was at those parties?" You know what that implies. Another says that the heart of gold line feels completely different now, because once the mood shifts, compliments start getting treated like timestamps. Not because they prove anything on their own, but because they capture how people spoke before anyone felt uneasy, before caution crept in. And that's why the questions keep multiplying. Did she just attend, celebrate, and leave? Or did she witness more than the public ever knew? People keep pointing to that 2017 post that's resurfaced again, where Paris hyped one of Diddy's house parties as unforgettable. So how much did she really know about what went on beyond the cameras? And if she did know something, was there pressure to stay silent? Right as those questions start settling in, the discussion takes a darker turn. Because the internet doesn't stop at guests, it shifts its focus toward the people closest to the center. That's where Kim Porter's name comes in. 4 years, people have questioned the timeline around her passing. Online, it never fully felt resolved. Not because of evidence, but because when closure feels incomplete, speculation fills a gap and becomes its own narrative. The reality is, Kim wasn't just loosely connected. She was Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children, meaning she had deep access to his inner world for years. Because of that closeness, people online speculate that she may have seen things that didn't line up with the polished public image, conflicts, information, moments the outside world never witnessed. Then she became ill. Pneumonia was listed as the official cause, and the internet reacted the way it always does. Some people accepted it and moved on. Others questioned the timing, calling it too convenient, and theories continued to circulate. Nothing confirmed, just a kind of speculation that grows when people feel like certain questions were never truly answered. Once attention shifts to the inner circle, it doesn't stop at partners, it moves outward to family. Because when people believe a story is larger than one individual, they start assuming the structure around them helped keep it running. That's why another name has started drawing intense focus. Janice Combs, Diddy's mother. In online narratives, she isn't being portrayed as just supportive parent. Some frame her as someone who understood the mechanics early on, how charm, influence, and authority could be used to build power. According to those theories, she wasn't merely watching from the sidelines, but played a role in shaping how the empire operated. To support that view, people dig up old interviews, resurface clips, and moments they label as off, using them to reinforce their assumptions. None of it is proven, but once the internet locks into a storyline, even minor details get reinterpreted as part of something much bigger. Clips people interpret in their own way, paired with short viral moments replayed again and again, keep feeding the narrative. Whether any of it actually means something or not, those visuals have become fuel online, and they haven't helped a perception at all. So the debate shifts. Was she just a mother standing up for her son, or was she quietly involved in keeping the entire operation moving behind the scenes? Then the focus slides to Kyoon Miami, and her name showing up in this discussion doesn't really surprise anyone. She stayed publicly loyal through a lot, even as leaked videos and negative headlines made the situation look worse. People still remember her stepping up in his defense, talking about him doing the work, therapy, self-reflection, personal growth, the whole narrative. But a lot of critics aren't buying that explanation. They frame it as benefits, not belief. The private jets, luxury fashion, exclusive access. One comment summed it up bluntly: she's there for the lifestyle. Then the rumors pile on. People claim she was present in those late-night circles too, pointing to symbols and tiny details that keep getting recycled in comment sections, like the white nails comparison people refuse to let go of. None of it is confirmed, but it spreads because it fits a narrative many already want to believe. And once a narrative takes hold, even the smallest details start carrying weight. Now, the online talk sounds like this. If the ship is going down, anyone still on deck risks getting pulled under with it, especially if more names surface, or if new footage ever appears that can't be easily explained away. So the real question is, what's actually happening out of public view? Who's standing by out of loyalty, and who might be holding on to something that could blow the whole situation wide open? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're here for unfiltered timelines and fearless breakdowns, hit like, subscribe, and tap the next video on your screen right now.